Hello, welcome to the system support training. My name is Evans Fundira. I'll be the one training you in this course. This will be literally a 2 week course. Since the very first week, we have already spent it on our orientation. The unit standards we'll cover in this particular course are four. Whenever you hear the word unit standard, just think of it as a module, just a topic from any textbook you have read. So let's just think of it that way. So we'll be covering four topics in this particular course. That will mean two per week. So we actually cover them in the order in which you see them on our screen right now. So part of the things that are very important when you are doing a course like this one is being able to follow through what is expected of you by the organizations that are in charge of this type of training. The organizations that we're talking about mainly here are the one we call the MICT CETA, which is responsible for the training aspect of it. And some of you have had a meeting with them, and I think you now have an idea of what they're expecting out of this training and out of you. The other organization we're talking about is called SAQA, which is the umbrella body in South Africa in terms of such trainings. So it's the one that makes sure that all these trainings are done under standard conditions and all those standards are met. Throughout all this course, my main job as your facilitator is to make sure that one, you're able to understand the principles that we're going to cover, and two, you're also able to answer the questions that follow. The questions will be given in two ways. You have what are called formative assessments, which are more of your theory questions, and you have got what are called summative assessments, which are more of your practical questions. Whenever you have something that you might not have understood from these videos that I'm going to record for you, do not hesitate to post it in our group that we now have, the WhatsApp group, so that you make sure that you answer all the questions. The moment you're done with answering the questions, you can also submit them via the email that I'll provide. Actually, you just use the email that I'll use to correspond with you. This will be a very simple course. I'll try by all means to be as elaborate as possible, but in case certain things are missed, just always remember that part of the things that I'll give you is what is called your learner guide. Your learner guide is literally your study guide, is literally your textbook. As you'll see that we've got learner guide, we've got we've got assessment guide, and stuff like that. All these actually just mean that these are the files that we use for us to come up with what we call a POE. POE stands for Portfolio of Evidence. In this portfolio of evidence, we'll be proving to SAQA and to MICT that you are now qualified to be given a certificate in this particular type of course. So, what will this portfolio of evidence have? It will have your learner guide, it will have your summative assessment, it will have your formative assessment. And then other things that I'll add myself, like your reports and your class registers and so forth. At the end of this particular course, what I'll then do is to mark all these things and give you feedback. If there are certain things you did not make clear, I'll give you back these particular assessments so that you can add whatever could be missing. As long as you get a mark of above 75%, you are then rendered competent. Being rendered competent, just think of it as passing an exam. The moment you are competent, we can then move on to the next stage. As you can see, we do not have much time in this training, so I implore you to do as much research as you can and to also read as much as you can from your textbook so that you answer all the questions as adequately as possible. Just like your experience in classes, you will know that not everything can always be covered in class. Some of the work, if not most of the work, is a student's job to actually research on such. So please make sure that you research and please make sure that you find out all that is needed to be found out in terms of you answering the questions. Whenever you have got any doubts, you can always post it in the group, and I'll always be there to answer you and help you along. I hope we'll have a wonderful 2 weeks together, and I hope we'll all be found competent and get our certificates.